In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, heirs or varieties, or any other cool things we can find, as well as pulling aside any copper and seeing how much we can fill the copper jar. And I have checked for enders to these 2 boxes, and we do have 2 enders in box 1 and 1 ender in box 2. Box number 1, we have 2 wheat scent enders, 1 in roll 10 right there, and then just before filming, I noticed this. I didn't even notice at first, but we have a BU wheat scent ender in roll number 5. That is a super cool ender. Super excited to see what year and mint that one will be. And in box number 2, actually in the first roll of the box, we have a King George VI Canadian ender. Haven't had one of those in a few hunts, so I'm super excited to see what year that one is. So definitely a few cool enders for the hunt, especially that BU wheat scent. Hopefully it's an upgrade for the album. So let's start the hunt on penny box number 1, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. No finds until roll number 5, which was that BU wheat scent ender. Don't see anything else in the roll, and here it is. Super nice condition. Probably just going to be in the 50s, but hopefully it'll upgrade the album regardless. And it is just a last year 1958 Denver, but I don't know if the one we have is this nice or not. We'll have to see if this one's an upgrade to the album. Either way, super great way to start the box. Roll number 8, and I just uncovered wheat scent number 2, and it's another one in great shape. This one being from the 40s, a 1948 Denver, and as you can see, it has a lot of luster left on it. It does have some brown on it, so it's more of a red brown than a red, unlike that 1958 Denver that was an ender, but still super nice to find a wheat scent number 2 in this great shape. Maybe another album upgrade. Just opened roll 10, which was that other wheat scent ender, and I see another wheat scent a couple coins behind it, so we're going to have wheat scents number 3 and 4 in this roll. The ender for wheat scent number 3 is a 1946 from Philly, and a couple coins later I saw the date. We have another 40s wheat scent, 1949 from Denver. Same roll, and I just uncovered yet another 40s wheat scent, so this is going to be wheat scent number 5 already in 10 rolls, which is a super good start. And it is 1947 from Denver. Just opened roll 13, and I see the edge of wheat scent number 6 for the box right there in the middle. And this one's going to be a 1946 from Denver. Just opened roll 15. We're going to have wheat scent number 7 already. Box is getting off to a super hot start. Just a few coins in right here. And it's going to be a 1940 out of Denver. Same roll, and we're going to have the 8th wheat scent as well. Just uncovered it. It's yet another one from the 40s, this time a 1944 out of Denver. Roll 17, just uncovered wheat scent number 9, only 1 away for double digits already. This is going to be a pretty good box, and this one is a 1956 Denver. Just opened roll 19, and I see the edge of wheat scent number 10 for the box near the end of the roll right there. Already hitting double digits in 19 rolls. Super good start. This is like another wheat scent in pretty good shape. It's a 1946 out of Denver. Just opened roll 21, and I see the edge of yet another wheat scent. This one is near the middle of the roll right here. And this one actually looks pretty worn. This might be the first oldie of the hunt. Hopefully it's old, and hopefully it fills a spot in the album. Oh my god, I think it's going to be both of those. 1912 out of Philly. It's actually in pretty decent shape too. Definitely don't have that one. Only 68 million minted. That's a pretty rare year for the wheat scents, and we just found one. Can't believe we just found that. This box just got even better. Same roll as that 1912. It's not another old one, but we do have another wheat scent. Another one from the 40s. This one, 1942, Denver. Next roll, and we have yet another wheat scent from the 40s. This one is 1945, minted in Denver. Just opened roll 25, and I believe I see a couple of wheat scents in this roll just by the date. They're near the back, and I see one right here. It's a 1944 out of Philly, and a few coins later, I see another one from 1944, but that one is from Denver, and this one might be one as well, and it is. It's another one from the 40s. A lot of 40s in this box, and a lot of them in decent shape, maybe from an album or something. That one's a 1941 out of Denver. 3 more 40s wheat cents in the same roll. Roll 28, just open the roll and flatten it out. I see another wheat cent near the back, right there. And this one's gonna be another 1945 Denver. Roll 28, we're gonna have our second pre-40s wheat cent. It's not as good as that 1912, but it is a 1939 out of Philly, our first from the 30s. It's a pretty common one, and we already have it for the album, but that's still a great find. Roll 30, just uncovered another wheat cent, and it is yet another one from the 40s, another 1945 from Denver. Same roll, and I just uncovered another wheat cent, and we're gonna have another addition to the album. This one being from the 30s. That is a 1930 San Francisco. If it was the 1931S, it would be a key date, but it's a 1930S. Still definitely a tougher wheat cent to get. Only 24 million minted, and as I said, it's going to be an addition to the album. 2 album editions already in 30 rolls, that 1912 and now this one. This box is pretty epic. Roll 32, and the wheat cents are going to continue because I just opened this roll. See the edge of another one near the front right here. And this time we're going to have another 1945 Denver. Just open the next roll, and we're going to have yet another wheat cent. See the edge of it near the back of the roll. And this one's going to be a 1950 out of Denver. Roll 34, just uncovered another wheat cent. It's another one from the 40s. Ton of 40s wheats in this box, as well as a few older ones, which is awesome. This time we have a 1946 Denver. Roll 35, we have yet another wheat cent. They just keep on coming. This time we have one from the 50s, and 1951 from Denver. Just opened roll 37, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent near the beginning of the roll right here. And this time we're going to have another 1940 from Denver. Just opened roll 39, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent right here near the middle of the roll. And this one is a 1945 from Philly this time. Roll 44, and I just uncovered another oldie. It's our first wheat cent from the 20s, 1926 out of Philly. Actually in pretty decent shape for its age. I did already look. We do need a 1926 for the album. So this is the 3rd edition of the Hunt, which is insane. Haven't even done a whole box yet. 3 editions in 1 box is amazing this late into the series. Never expected to have a box this good. This Hunt is awesome. Just opened roll 46 and flattened it out. I see the edge of yet another wheat cent right there. Looks like it has some corrosion on it. Looks like it's pretty corroded and clean, pretty damaged, but it is last year, 1958 Denver. Roll 47, and I missed it by the edge, but we have another beautiful wheat cent. Probably missed it just because it's so nice. Not used to seeing wheat cents this nice. Hopefully it's not from the later 50s, but it probably is, and hopefully it'll upgrade the album. And it's from the earlier 50s, a 1952 Denver in this nice of shape. Probably will upgrade the album. We got that beautiful 58 earlier, and the 48 Denver. This will probably upgrade as well. That's another awesome find for the box. Just opened roll 49, and I see the edges of 2 more wheat cents, and one of them looks old. I'll pull both of them out at the same time. There's one right here that doesn't look as old, but one away from being an ender at the front. That looks like a super worn wheat cent. Probably another oldie. That's awesome. Let's look at the newer one first. It's just a 1944 Denver. Let's see if we can make 4 additions for the box with this one. And it's a 1917 out of Philly. Definitely old, but I do remember we did add that one in just the last episode of the 196 million minted. Not going to make edition number 4 for the box for that one, but still. It's another old wheat cent. That's now our 5th wheat cent pre-40s for the box. And this box has just been absolutely amazing. First penny box has been hunted, and it was an excellent box. We ended up with a total of 31 wheat cents for the box, which is amazing. We got a few beauties as well. Beautiful 58 Denver, beautiful 52 Denver, and a pretty nice 1948 Denver. Pretty sure all those are going to upgrade the album. Also a couple of decent condition ones in the 40s, like that 1946 Denver as well. And we also ended up with 5 oldies, 2 from the 30s, a 1939 Philly, and a 1930S, which is going to be an addition to the album. 1 from the 20s, a 1926 Philly, also need that for the album. And 2 from the teens, a 1912, which is also going to be an addition, as well as a 1917. So a ton of wheat cents with some good quality ones, those nice ones, and these oldies. Only 2 Canadians, but that doesn't matter when you get so many wheat cents and so many good ones as well. Then we're going to make some really good progress to the album with this box. Definitely a great first box. Now we'll move on to box 2, which is the sister box. Hopefully the success can continue. I'll bring you in right after I open the first roll, since we do have that King George Ender, and I'll see if there's anything else with it. Just open the first roll, box 2, with that King George Ender. Don't see anything else in the roll. Here it is. Based off the design, it has the et and imp at the end, which means I'm pretty sure 1948 or older. And it's going to be 1947, and the little dot after the date is the maple leaf. I'm pretty sure that's more common than the non-maple leaf for the 1947. Not too sure about that, but still, 1947 maple leaf Canadian cent. That is a super cool find to start off box 2. Just uncovered the first wheats in a box 2 in roll number 4, and it's going to be another oldie. 1928 out of Philly, another one from the 20s. I think that's the second one from the 20s of the hunt. I did look in the album. We do already have all the 1928s. This one is 134 million minted, but still another wheat cent from the 20s. Definitely a great start to box number 2. Hopefully we can find some more. Roll 17, and we're finally going to have the second wheats in a box 2. I'm starting to think this isn't the sister box to the other one. You can see boxes are a slightly different color of red, and these are different types of wrappers, so I'm pretty sure this is not a sister box. It's been pretty slow compared to the last one as well. But wheat cent number 2 for box 2 is a 1951 Denver. Just opened roll 19, and I see the edge of the third wheat cent for box number 2 near the beginning of the roll right here. And this one is going to be a 1946 from Denver. Just opened roll 26, and I see 2 more wheat cents in this roll, so we're going to have numbers 4 and 5 for the box. With them a couple coins in, just uncovered it. It's a 1955 out of Philly, not the DDO, of course. And I looked later in the roll, and I actually missed a wheat cent by the edge right when I flattened it out. And wheat cent number 5 for box 2 is a 1957 from Denver. Roll 29, and I just uncovered wheat cent 6 for box number 2. It's another one from the 50s, 1956 out of Philly. Roll 39, and I just uncovered the 7th wheat cent of box number 2. It's yet another one from the 50s, 1958 from Philly. Just opened roll 44, and I see the edge of the 8th wheat cent for box number 2. Hopefully we'll be able to make 10 in these last few rolls. And this time we're going to have 1949 from Denver. Same roll, just uncovered another wheat cent, so now we're only 1 away from double digits. And this one is 1952 Denver. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 14 1959s, 19 estimates with 24 2009s. Canadians, we only got 6 for the hunt, pretty slow for those, but one of them was that Ender, a 1947 King George VI from box 2. That was definitely a super cool find. 3 miscellaneous finds as well, all 1960 Denver small dates in varying conditions, but 3 for a hunt is pretty good. Now, moving on to the wheat cents, where most of the finds were for the hunt. We ended up with 40 for the 2 boxes, which is just absolutely amazing, especially from box 1. We got 31 from box 1 and 9 from box 2, just failing to get 10 for box 2, but box number 1 was so good. Definitely made up for it. We got a few super nice ones from the 40s and 50s, really nice 1958 Denver, nice 1952 Denver, and a pretty nice 1948 Denver, hoping those will upgrade the album. And we also ended up with 6 pre-40s as well, super good getting 6 in one hunt. 1939 out of Philly, pretty common, and a 1930S, which is going to be an album edition, so those are 2 from the 30s, 2 from the 20s as well, a 1928 and 1926, both from Philly, and the 1926 is another addition to the album. and 2 from the teens, a 1917 and a 1912. 1917 is not an edition, but the 1912 is, so we have 3 editions pre-40s for this hunt, which is absolutely amazing this far into the series. Super good boxes, especially box number 1 with 31 wheat cents. Now, for the copper, we did pretty much what we usually do, almost filled the copper jar. It's usually what we get in 2 boxes, and that's a pretty good amount of copper. So, overall, luck with pennies has been amazing lately. Definitely continued in this hunt with one box having 31 wheats with all those oldies and additions. So now, I'm going to go through all the finds, see how much album progress we made, and I'll bring you back with an album update. Just finished updating the album, and as I expected, we made some great progress this episode. We ended up with a total of 3 additions and 3 upgrades, which is super good this late in the series. First edition was, of course, the oldest find of the hunt, 1912 out of Philly, only 68 million minted, definitely a tough one to find being that old. Then our next edition was the 1926 out of Philly, not as rare with 157 million minted, just didn't have it yet, still a great edition. And the last edition we had was the 1930S, only 24 million minted, definitely a tough one to get. If it was 1 year later, it would have been the 31S, which would have been super rare, but still, 30S, super great edition, super great to get 3 editions this late in the series. And now for our 3 upgrades, 3 pretty nice wheat cents. First, that 1948 Denver, the one before was brown, this one has mostly red on it, which is a super good find being from the 40s. Then our other 2 upgrades were 50s, this 1952 Denver definitely upgraded, a lot more red than the last one, and this case is the same with the 1958 Denver. Last one was pretty much red-brown, this one's pretty much completely red, definitely a good upgrade there as well. So a few beauties upgraded the album, and a few oldies to add to the album. Super good luck in this hunt with the pennies, as most of my hunts recently have been, and this was definitely a super great penny hunt and fill episode.